Oh, come on in, there's no need for this.
What, you didn't think I'd just let you walk out of here with my kids, did you? I mean, what about my rights to see them?
She's graced both Albert Square and the Corrie Cobbles. Actress Michelle Collins is here to tell us what's next after a career in Britain's top soaps.
And what's coming up later. She's moved from Walford to Weatherfield. Now Michelle Collins will be on the sofa to tell us about life behind the scenes of two of our best-loved soaps.
Comedian Jenny Eclair will be here at
13 minutes to 9. From the back streets of Walford to the cobbles of Weatherfield, Michelle Collins has been playing leading roles in TV's two most-watched soap operas.
But the actress is saying goodbye to the Rover's return. She's already filmed her last scene for Coronation Street and has put pen to paper for her autobiography.
Well, she's with us now.
She
Morning,
just took a
Michelle.
deep breath. It's okay.
Were there... It's funny, you can't really get terribly emotional about saying goodbye to Coronation Street when because your final scenes don't come till, what, June, but you've already filmed them.
No, today.
Oh, it's today?
It's today,
I thought it was later.
Were there tears on the cobbles, you
Yes,
were
were
going
there
to say?
tears on cobbles?
Yeah, there were, actually. Obviously, for Stella, and for me, it was quite emotional. We filmed my last scenes at 10 o'clock at night, so obviously it was quite dark, and I decided not to have a leaving party or anything, although I actually thought I wish I had, because it was all quite emotional, and yeah, it was. I gave everyone a can of Stella when I left, put it in their little pigeonholes, yeah, no, it was very emotional. Actually, I've been there for 3 years. I made a lot of friends.
Well,
so
let's have a look at Stella and some of your other memorable characters. Here we go.
Been on to my solicitor. She sets up a court hearing for tomorrow. She'll be serving you a written notice to attend by the end of the day. Shall I have it by the Barrys?
what do you mean?
A hearing to decide how things are going to work out if we separate. Just be there and bring the kids.
We haven't even gone yet.
It's an emergency, isn't it? Children's welfare and all that. They give it top priority.
Oh, come on in, there's no need for this.
What, you didn't think I'd just let you walk out of here with my kids, did you? I mean, what about my rights to see them? To know they're being looked after?
Well, surely we can work something out between us. I mean, once I'm set, I wouldn't cut you out of the kids' lives.
Do you really think I'd trust you with something like that after all that's happened?
Oh, I want you to have this. What is it? It's a necklace my mum gave me when I was 21. One of the few things that got saved in the fire. Oh, thanks. It's lovely. Right, come on. We've got a lot to get through. Sheet is going to be late for work. Oh, I was just going to shout for you.
What are you going to do now? Phone me every day from New York? You do know you're going to regret this, don't you?
Ah, but you're not regretting it, are you?
So now you know, she goes to New York.
Oh, giving it away.
Am I going to regret it?
What, leaving Corrie?
No, I mean, it was my decision to go in the first place, and it's always sad. But, first and foremost, I'm a jobbing actor, and I'm also a mum, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm leaving, because I need to be at home a bit more, really. So there are various reasons, but...
Yeah, it's always a juggle, isn't it? We're going to talk about lots of things, but a little bit, there was a lot of criticism at the start of that about your accent, wasn't there? Was that tough to deal with?
Yeah, it was, and it was quite unexpected, I think. I suppose I wasn't criticised for my acting, I was criticised for my accent, which I thought, this is really weird, this is bizarre. And, yeah, it did get a little bit nasty at one point, but I think... I think I'm older and wiser now. If it had happened to me, say, 10, 15 years ago, I probably would have coped with it in a very different way, but I just sort of rode the storm, really.
I mean, you described yourself as a jobbing actor. You've had lots of jobs, actually, haven't you? Because you've sort of been market research, ringing up people asking questions about, well, all sorts of different things.
You have read a bit of the book, then. Oh, that's nice.
You've been a singer as well.
Worked at McDonald's.
Worked at McDonald's. Obviously, this is all in this book that I've written called This Is Me, and yes, that's why I'd sort of, because I've been asked before, lots of times actually, to write a book, and I just thought, oh no,
and you found
no one's going to be interested in me. I haven't got anything to say, and I'm 51 now, and I thought, actually, yeah,
You've got
why
a lot
not?
to say. But you found being a TV interviewer on The Word particularly difficult.
Well, that chapter's called, Bill, the worst TV presenter ever, because I think I wasn't very good. See, you make it look very easy, and I don't think I was very good. It was a programme called The Word, which was part of youth TV, it was quite bizarre. But I did that for about 4 months, yes, and decided it wasn't for me. But I have tried lots of different things. Yes, I was a singer in a band in the 80s. So it's all, you know, it starts when I was very young, growing up in the 60s and 70s. I come from Islington, you know, being brought up with a single parent and what it was like, going through strikes, a 3-day week, that sort of thing. And so, yeah, it's and it's very up and down.
You weren't even alive when 3-day week took place.
I was, I remember the rubbish outside the house.
Yeah.
My mum used to take me to the cafe up the road because we had no electricity, and the cafe used to have candles, so I used to love it because I didn't have to do my homework.
It was very kind of romantic and all the rest of it. To start on EastEnders, you just gone there for a sort of short stint.
11 episodes I originally went in for, and yes, and I stayed for the first stint 2 years, then I had a couple of years off and I went back, and so 88 to 96 I eventually left.
And they said when you started that this is going to change your life.
Julie Smith took me to her office and said, "You do know this is going to change your life, don't you?" And I was like, yeah, of course. But actually you don't know to what extent. And EastEnders was huge in those days. You know, it was getting 20 million, 20 million viewers.
Yeah, what I found fascinating about that episode is that they said, yeah, you're going to make your entrance into Albert Square on a motorbike. You can ride a motorbike, can't you? Because you've been filmed doing it. Oh, yeah. And previously you said, oh, yeah, I can play the trumpet.
You have read this. I love it.
but
I lied to... You ask most actors lie to get jobs.
Exactly what I was going to say. Is that part of the...
Little white lies, of course. I think so, because you know what? I thought I'd previously had a job where I was on a motorbike, but what I didn't tell them was I was pushed onto set on the motorbike by the prop man. But I thought I really wanted this job, so I'll lie a little bit. And I did nearly run over Letitia Dean and Susan Tully, and then Julia Smith went, bin the bike.
That wouldn't have been good.
Bin the bike now. So, and I did lie that I could play the trumpet, but just little white lies.
Oh, so what happens when you've said the lie and then exactly they say, right, this is your opening scene? I mean, it's got to be a sense of dread.
Yes, I was pretty much dreading it, but I just thought I'll deal with that when it, you know, it comes.
Yeah.
Interesting also that when you applied to go to drama college, you got turned down by everybody, but you carried on. That's one of the things that you need really to be an actor is the ability to act, but also the ability to take rejection.
Absolutely, I think, and I think that's why I hope people like the book, because it is very much there's a lot of failures, but a lot of positives come out of failures. And you know, this can be a really horrible industry. You know, smoke and mirrors, and you know, lots and lots of ups and downs. And I think people will get a taste of that in the book, I hope. And yeah, it can be very cruel, you know. But I don't know where I got this determination from when I was sort of 17, because I thought, right, no, that's it. I'm going to go on and I'm going to do it myself without drama school.
You talk about lots of ups and downs, and one of the striking things I was struck by was this sort of period you had when you had anorexia and how things had really... I mean, how did you sort of stop that in some ways and come out of it?
It was... In those days, there was a bit of a taboo, I think, about eating disorders anyway, and anorexia. Nobody really spoke about anorexia. I don't think we even really knew what it was. It was, you know, whereas now people talk about it and we deal with it and there are charities and everything. But I think it scared me when my agent said to me that somebody had rung up and said, was I OK? Because I thought I looked all right. And I suppose inside I knew I wasn't feeling right. I knew I wasn't quite well. And it sort of gave me a bit of kick up the bum to do something.
So somebody saying
and strengthen
something
character again. And I think, you know, my mum really helped me. And I just thought, this is silly. I've got to do this. And I was quite lucky that I didn't have to seek help. But I know a lot of people do.
Yeah. Lots of ups and downs in your life, which you recall very honestly in the books, and very dark moments. If you have a motto, because you must have considered your life so far, if you have a motto for surviving, what would it be, do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I think always be humble, oh gosh, just carry on, don't believe what people say, and also follow your gut instinct. Always follow your gut instinct, and don't compare yourself to anyone else, because you are an individual and there's no one else like you.
Very useful advice. Michelle, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Michelle's autobiography, This Is Me, is out tomorrow, and you can see the final scenes of Stella in Coronation Street on ITV tonight, 7:30.
Now, let's get